Today, we're gonna hike Black Star Canyon Falls in Cleveland National Forest. Now, on to the hike. So, our hike begins down here at the canyon. The hike will start where that black and green dot is at, and it'll be started on a dirt road path. Then we'll reach the end of the canyon right there. So, this is a moderate hike. It's not too difficult, but it's not easy either. Now, on to the hike. So, when you get to the parking lot, you're going to see this sign warning you about mountain lions and the risk of them. You'll pass that gate entrance and make your way on this service road. And just throughout the hike, you will be able to see this barbed wired fence along the trail the whole way, basically letting you know that you should not cross that fence. And it's actually an electric fence you'll see later on. And we found some cactus right here on the trail. So this trail right here starts out really dry, desert-like almost. But as you make your way up, you will reach that sign for Black Star Canyon Falls, and it'll tell you 3 miles. And then a mile in, we will be in Cleveland National Forest. So there is puddles today on this hike. You can see the creek down there. So this particular waterfall has been dried up for quite some time. It's dry for several months throughout the year. So this is a seasonal waterfall. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and see if the waterfall is flowing. So we're going to go check that out and see how Black Star Canyon Falls is doing. And of course, due to all the rain, there is some mud. And you will pass this white sign on the way up. The trail is pretty straightforward, not difficult to navigate, and there's signs letting you know that that's an electric fence and to not touch it. And as you make your way down the trail, down this road, it actually becomes more shaded. And then you can see some cows right here on the private property. And they're all branded and marked with tags. And this right here will be our first bridge crossing of the hike. So there are 3 bridge crossings on this hike, both going over the creek. And you can see some wild berries along the trees. Don't eat those, as you do not know what's in them and they might be poisonous. And as you make your way up this trail, you're going to see these fences along the way. And these are for many of the Forest Service roads that come through here. Only certain authorized vehicles can come through. And we have reached the second bridge. And just more views of the creek. According to the All Trails app, this hike is actually 846 feet of elevation gain. But as I was doing this hike, for the most part, until you get to the creek crossings, it's relatively flat. And you don't really notice the elevation gain. But I believe most of the elevation gain will come from scrambling over rocks and creek crossings. But you will be met with some pines, oak, and eucalyptus trees throughout this hike, and you will see that yellow sign to the right side of me. And we are coming up to the third bridge crossing. And another private gate entrance. And a nice little flow down there at the waterfall. And you can see some more private property across that creek. And we have reached this sign right here. And when you reach the sign right here, you just make a right, and you know you're heading the right way. And at this point, the trail becomes more narrow. And it's pretty much just going up the creek the whole way. There will be some rock scrambling, creek crossing along the way. So you will get quite the adventure on this hike. And right here is the first creek crossing I had to make. And you could possibly avoid getting your feet wet on this hike, but I can't guarantee that. But there are some tree branches, there are some rocks that you could climb over or hop over, such as this tree branch falling over the creek. So that's actually what makes this hike really fun, is the fact that when you cross creeks and then you climb over the rocks, it makes the hike very adventurous. And I just love the sounds of the creek. Very peaceful, very calming. And you can see more of those wild berries. So this trail becomes pretty dense with the forest as we make our way along the canyon. And there is some graffiti on this hike, unfortunately. And you could see all the brush and bushes and rocks that you have to go through. And here's me climbing a rock. This is the rock climbing I was talking about. And the trail is somewhat hidden, but when you look through the bushes close enough, you'll notice it. And I'm just gonna have to make my way up there. I'm getting pretty close to it though. And you can see when you make your way up this trail that there's a lot of little waterfalls up ahead. And some more rock climbing right here. And I've been to a lot of waterfalls, but this is definitely one of my favorites, I think. And here's one of the lower tier falls, one of the first. And I believe there's at least 5 lower tier falls before you reach the Black Star Canyon Falls. And that's a good sign right there. That's a good sign that the water should be flowing well. And we're getting close. We are approaching it. And we have arrived. And right there you can see a little cave in there that you can go into. This is Black Star Canyon Falls. This is a very beautiful waterfall if you can catch it after a rainstorm. And I'd highly recommend doing this hike between late December and February, as that's when it's at its peak. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe.